Friends, we are all hearing about the Contempt of Courts Act 1971, and very recently the Honorable High Court of AP it has sent 49 notices to the contemners since they alleged or attributed the casteism or some other things against the High Court judges and Supreme Court judges also. Of course, it is even though it is legal issue, it has become politicized, right? So in this connection, normally what are the powers of the court? You have to know, friends. You may remember contempt is of two types: civil contempt and criminal contempt. Civil contempt, if the honorable courts give a direction, gives a injunction, gives a decree, gives an order. If you don't oblige, it is a civil contempt. But as far as criminal contempt is concerned, if you want to demoralize, if you want to dismiss, that is scandalize the court, definitely you are liable for criminal contempt. And please remember, the contemners will be tried, or the punishment will be given by the courts of record. Please remember, Constitution of India, Article 129, Court of Record. So Supreme Court is the Court of Record. In other places, 215, I believe. According to 215 Constitution, High Court is the Court of Record. Only they are competent to conduct the trials. And you may knowing, according to Section 12, the punishment will be 6 months or 2,000 rupees only. But normally there are certain institutions or certain persons who cannot, of course, who in their view think that the courts can't do anything with them. So now let us talk about Article 361. Article 361 gives protection to President of India, governors and Raj Pramukhs. You may be knowing, you cannot file a case against them. But of course, Speaker also comes under the so-called, Article 36, definitely Speaker comes. But please remember, if I tell you a case law, it will be very easy. The powers of the Supreme Court in view of the contemners, normally the speakers of Lok Sabha, speakers of local assembly, they will be under the impression that they need not follow the directions of the court. This is commonly happening. They think they are above the law. Please remember, everybody is, he has to obey the law. This is the basic principle. Right? Of course, Speaker is an honorable position. Right? While discussing about the 10th schedule or defections case, we have been umpteen numbers. I tell you that the ball lies with the Speaker. He has to take a decision whether a person defected or not. But the time limit is not there, and they are taking their own time. It happens. So we'll discuss a beautiful case. It is I Manipur Singh versus Dr. H. Boro Babu and another, 1993. So, Dr. H. Boro Babu, he was the Speaker of Manipur Assembly during the year 1992. Of course, regarding the disqualification of MLA, he did not take action, and the matter came to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court has given certain directions, but he did not oblige. That's the main point. He did not oblige. But whereas normally the court will not give direction to the Speaker, they will give direction to the Secretary. Just like suppose if something happens against the state High Court will not give direction to the Chief Minister, they will give the direction to the Chief Secretary of the state. Likewise, they gave directions to the Secretary of the Legislative Assembly. Of course, this man is Manipur Singh, Manipur Singh. So the secretary, basing on the orders of the Supreme Court, he wanted to act according to the Supreme Court. But the harassment started. The Speaker of the Assembly, this is Boro Babu, he did not oblige for the same, and as a result of which Manipur Singh could not do anything. Right? And second, the harassment started. So he was not allowed to function properly. He was asked to go on voluntary retirement, which he did not do. Of course, the harassment continued, and since he did not oblige the Speaker, another person was posted in his place, and this man was actually, literally, he was shunted out. Then at this juncture, he approached the Supreme Court. So Supreme Court took it as a contempt, because even though then they have given notices to the speaker. Of course, the first notice he replied that the assembly was in sessions and he could not attend. Okay. Then another adjournment. This happened in 1992. Another adjournment was given. At that time, he said he was out of the headquarters, and also he filed an affidavit that he need not oblige the decision of the Supreme Court. He is not bound by the Supreme Court decision, because 10th schedule makes him absolutely authoritative. So indirectly he says, you can't question me about this particular. So it is definitely willful disobedience of the court order, voluntary disobedience of the court order. The court took it as a contempt. Right? Now, the Supreme Court gave a notice to him. Of course, the first reply is that he is that schedule is there, MLA, that assembly is going on, accepted. Second time he was out of course, at that time a stern warning was given, and the matter was posted to 24/3/1993, last date 24/1993. Of course, he did not want to come. Yes, he has deliberately violated the orders of the Supreme Court as a contempt now. Of course, even the Union Home Minister at the time advised him to go to the court of law. Why wrangle with the court? Better you go and say like that. But he did not appear. Ultimately, the Supreme Court directed the government of India, as a result of which the paramilitary forces went in a helicopter, physically lifted the speaker in the helicopter and produced him before the Supreme Court. Then he realized. Then by the time, of course, he realized, and on 18/3/1993, he has reinstated the so-called Manipur Singh. Of course, the so-called dues and other things, they were also paid him, and he requested the Honorable Court to excuse him out of ignorance, out of something. Anyway, once again we have to think about Section 12 of the Contempt of Courts Act. Even though the court is competent to punish, but the apology will be the primary objective, because all of them are educated persons. Contempt against whom? Normally against the advocates, against the subordinate judges, against the politicians, like these such people. All of them are educated. Therefore, normally they have come out openly. If they apologize, normally that will be taken into consideration. Same thing has happened here. But anyway, he was given a due warning, and they stated that your order is subject for judicial review. In which circumstances you have given the order? Definitely. So nobody is above the rule of law. Everybody has to obey the rule. That is the basic structure doctrine. So normally people may be under the impression that once they are the president, or they are the governor, or they are the speaker, they need not oblige the so-called court. So it will be taken as a contempt, and this is a lesson, definitely. Normally they may. So suppose if the court directs the magistrate, local magistrate, can he go and bring him? Not possible. He will once again ask the police. Of course, police, who is the speaker? Definitely he will be one of the elected representatives from the so-called state, Manipur state, maybe from the party in power. Is it possible for a magistrate or a police officer to go and bring him? So that's why the Supreme Court used their powers under 129, and definitely, and they have quoted also 144. No doubt, you have to aid the court in the administration of law, in the rule of no doubt, according to Article 50, doctrine of separation of powers, judicial separate. But obliging the rule of law, obliging the orders of the Supreme Court or High Court, they are most important, because they are the court of record. What means? According to Article 141, whatever decision is given by the Supreme Court, it will be binding on all the courts in India. That is the greatness of the judiciary. You can't avoid. This is a good lesson, very good case. Whenever the contempt cases comes, you should take it an example. Please remember, if you want time, if you have time, please read this judgment. I, Manipur Singh versus Dr. H. Boro Babu and another 1993 Supreme Court judges judgment. Very good judgment. Please read it and enrich your knowledge, and you can cite it an example in the content that is a professional ethics topic. Thank you.